Do you realise how many sharks there are swimming in our waters? Today I take my sons fishing near some of Auckland's most popular swimming beaches to teach them all about sharks. Hi and welcome to Black Magic Fishing NZ. Well, we're out with the A-team, Raven and Bailey. They're my number one fishing buddies, as you probably well know. And again, they've come to me with a proposition. They said, Dad, we love sharks, we want to get close to them. And I said, well, I can take you shark fishing, but it's a pretty big thing. And they said, yeah. And I said, you know, we can actually catch sharks right in our back doorstep in Auckland Harbour. And they said, no way, we go swimming at Takapuna and places like that. And I said, mate, there's sharks right there. And we've come out to the Rangitoto Channel and we're going to try and catch a bronze whaler shark. Now these sharks, I've caught them up to about 300 kilos, but they average about 100, 150 kilos around here. So boys, do you reckon you can handle them for a starter?
Yeah.
I might have to give them a hand with this one. And Bailey, you had an interesting comment on shark.
I went into this restaurant in town and I saw they had shark fins too. So I searched it up on the internet, and what they do to the sharks is they chop all the fins off and then just chuck them back in the water to die. How cool is that, eh?
It's a Sunday afternoon. There's about, I don't know, 40, 50 boats in the Rangi Channel, lots of people fishing, and hopefully we can turn the sharks on. They're usually here at this time of year. And Raven had a few things of interest about sharks, didn't you, Raven?
Yes, I have. I've always seen sharks on TV and they look real cool there, but I really wanted to see one up close, and I think today is my chance.
Well, we're set up, we've got the baits in the water. It can be a bit of a waiting game. I usually find that the bronzies bite on the slack water, and that's not far away. So hopefully we don't have to wait too long. We've got the burley going, so it's shark fishing. I hope you boys don't fall in the water. Let's go.
I've got the job of being the burley boy.
Start to wind. The big shark. One hard pump and wind. Remember what we've taught you before. Raven, can you clear all these rods for me, my friend? I want them all out of the way. Pump and wind, buddy. Take this clicker off, eh? There we go, that's better.
Ooh, he's heavy. Oh, fudge!
Don't let him go around that anchor. Don't pull him back, don't pull him back.
Remember to sit.
Is he on the anchor? He's on the anchor, I can tell.
Can you? Yeah, he is. I can feel it vibrating.
Hold on.
Yeah, he's tough. Keep going. Remember, we found this guy at like the bottom of 10 metres, so you got to get all that line in. 10 metres of line, right? Yeah. I think how much he's done pulling. Oh, he's like breaking the back again. Worse than the kingfish. Probably bigger.
Watch him as he goes round the side.
Okay.
Go to the back of the boat, that's it.
Oh, my back.
Sit down on the harness.
Come on, baby.
Hold on tight.
He's trying. But he's not doing very good. Looks like I'm going to be winning this one there. Oh, damn, that hurt me. We'll just remember to sit back.
Right?
Yep.
Wind, you got to pump and wind. Get your hand, that's
It's
it.
not a hard to pump, eh?
Yep, sit back. Nice size bronzy for you actually, baby.
Good size bronzy, yeah.
Yeah, only about 100 kilos.
You guys are kidding me.
No.
I'd say about 50. Oh.
Trace. Now when I trace it, I need you to stand back.
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
Now don't wind anymore. Oop, oop. Keep the rod up. No fudges. Keep that rod up. Well, this is what you all came out here for, isn't it?
Yes, will we get to see it?
Yes, you will. We'll have a look at it beside the boat. Pump and wind, you need. You're very close now. You've done really well, actually.
Do I just need to get some trace?
Yep, and then I take over.
This is like a meter of this stuff.
Pump, lift,
Wow.
take a big, that's it. Perfect, good work.
What is that?
You'll see them in just a second. We've got about a 10-foot trace on, 10, 15-foot trace. Sit back, sit back. Doing really well, mate.
Ooh,
Here's the
there it
trace,
is.
right. Take a step backwards. Now I have to come in and grab that trace. Keep the rod up. Right, this. Now don't come to the edge yet. Just wait, because this is a big shark. Don't let that trace loop around me.
Okay.
And I might have to let it go again. Here it comes. Now don't.
Oh,
Look at that.
thing's massive.
There you go, fellas. Your bronze whaler shark.
I like it.
Take some shots, Ray.
Can you bring it up a bit more?
Yep. Just watch that wire, because if I have to let go, you're all going to have to hang on.
Yeah. Nice. I like it.
Look at that, eh?
Beauty.
Right, watch it, it's wrapped around there. Can't let go. Untangle that tip. Untangle that quickly, otherwise you're going to lose it.
Go. Okay, we must untangle.
Untangle it around the tip.
Is it fine?
Now this is the time when you do have to be really
Okay, I've
careful.
untangled it.
Great. Keep that wire away. I'm using good heavy duty gloves and I'm keeping the shark below the water so we don't upset him too much. I'm going to cut him off shortly. The boys are just getting some photos. But if we have to let go, I just show the trace in the water and Bailey can hold on to his rod. See if we can get his head up for you.
I'm getting one of his fin.
Come on.
I'm gonna get one of his fin. It looks great. I don't want to touch. Let's see his teeth there. Oh, they're big, sharp things. Great shots here.
So it's very exciting. Beautiful bronze colour. See the bronzy colour? That's why they're called bronze whalers. How's that, eh?
I got this bronze whalers to be heavy. I haven't seen his teeth yet.
Right, so we've got them docile beside the boat and I'm going to cut them away now. So we've got all our photos, the boys have had a good look and we're going to release them unharmed.
I'll take some more just to get some good ones.
There we go. Well, my little fish hunters did it again, eh? Bronze whaler shark for the little fella. That one was probably about 100 kilos. How much do you weigh?
30, 29.
So about 3 times heavier than you. Well done, you fought him really well, I'm impressed. Shall we see if there's another one there for you, Ray? I think it's supposed to be your turn. Awesome, let's go. Well done.
Marine reserves are the perfect place to learn to dive. All you need to get started is a mask and snorkel. This is the Hahei Marine Reserve on the Coromandel Peninsula, one of the many around our coastline. The fish are very tame, which makes them easy for a novice to approach. Leather jackets like this one are great to follow and very easy to photograph. For advanced divers, there are so many opportunities to get photos of the harder species like snapper. Sam Power drops his head to hide his eyes so the snapper come closer. Laying motionless like this improves your chances. Many fish will go about their normal day if you stay still. This guy is a poser. Big blue cod like this are not that common in northern waters. This shows you how effective marine reserves can be. Learning to snorkel in a marine reserve will probably teach you a lot more about the marine life, as there's so much more to see. You will be surprised at what lives under the weed, let alone above. Sam has found a big buck red cray, and it's only in 3 meters of water. This young lady is on her first scuba dive. Looks like she's having fun. Diving like this with an instructor is very safe and could get you started on a career as an instructor in any part of the world. Some fish have individual characteristics. This guy had a big scratch on his nose. I saw him many times during my dive. Others are happy to follow you wherever you go. If snorkeling is not your thing, scuba sure can open up a new world for you. There's that poser again. Red moki tend to stay on the bottom and hunt under the weed. I have often found crayfish where I see red moki. The kelp forest is not unlike a forest on land. There are things that live above, within and below it. This cray is not that well hidden. A big snapper will make a meal of him if he doesn't get under a rock or into a good crevice somewhere. Sam is having a great time. Let's see what he's found. A moray eel. People are terrified of these things thanks to the movies. These demoiselles don't seem too worried. I think they're a great creature. They're all bark and no bite. What a great way to finish a dive, seeing kingies like these on the hunt.
There are different limits for how many fish you can take for different species. In general, the bag limit consists of a mixed bag of 20 species, including fish like kahawai, trevally, gurnard, and other species. Other species that have a bag limit are on top of your mixed bag of 20. This means that you can potentially take a lot of fish. One thing that we like you to think about when you're taking the fish is take only what you need, not your limit. To get a better understanding of what bag limits apply in your area, check out the Ministry of Fisheries Recreational Fishers Handbook. These are free, or check out the Ministry of Fisheries website.
Part of safe boating practices is good preparation and having the essential equipment. There's quite a few items you need for essential equipment. Some of the primary ones are a GPS. This helps you navigate, lets you know where you are and how to get home if you get lost. A depth finder, which is really good for knowing how deep it is, also if you're coming up on rocks or reef. And an EPIRB. If you do get in trouble, you can send off an alarm and people will come and help you. Obviously, flares, radios and cell phones are a must. You've got to be able to communicate in several ways. Always carry 2 anchors. You never know if you might lose one.
Have a first aid kit, just so that you can do some primary first aid if someone gets injured. Whether your boat's big or small, you need a method of bailing, whether it's a simple cut open container or a full-on bilge pump. And every boat should have a fire extinguisher. Two little pieces of equipment that are invaluable is a good torch with fresh batteries and a knife. You never know when you're going to need something like this, and they can be lifesavers. The other things that are really basic, another means of power, whether it's an auxiliary motor or a paddle, and some protective clothing, something to keep you warm if you get wet and keep the wind off you. And of course, you should always have life jackets and buoyancy aids. Preparing for a trip is also important. If you haven't been out for a while, have a cursory look over your trailer. Make sure nothing's worn or broken or missing, especially trailer lights and shackles. Check your batteries, make sure they're fully charged. Ensure that the bungs are in. Always top up your fuel, because you never know when you might need that extra bit if you get caught out in rough conditions. The other things that I really love to carry and make sure I always have on my boat is some fresh drinking water. If you get lost at sea, the first thing that's going to kill you is not having enough to drink. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? Once you're on the water and you've mapped out your trip, file a report with the local Coast Guard. Let them know how many people are on board, where you're heading, what time you expect to come back, and then you know if anything goes wrong, they'll send out the search party to help you.
Setting up for shark fishing, there's a number of different ways that you can do it. We're in the Rangitoto Channel and we're most likely to catch bronze whaler sharks, which are what you call a ground shark, or they feed on the bottom. So what I do is I set up a Black Magic heavy duty swivel. This is one suitable for 37 kilo line, but I just use a really nice big heavy duty ball bearing swivel, and to it I directly clip sinkers. This one's only 4 ounce because the tide's just slowing down. If it was really rocking, I'd probably use a 10 ounce sinker because I want to lock that bait on the bottom. To that, I use a pre-made Black Magic shark trace, which is 5 meters of 200 kg steel, and that'll handle just about anything bar about a 1,000-pound tiger shark. So they've got a Flemish eye, they're already crimped, so all you got to do is connect them to your line. So it's a very easy way to set up. So you connect that onto your ball bearing swivel, make sure you clip the clip across, unravel your trace, and the piece de resistance is the bait. A skipjack head's my favourite bait, but mullet also works very, very well. And what I do is I hook it right up through the skull and the jaw, come out the other side. So if anything's going to have a pull on it, because sometimes snapper and they'd have a go as well. I've even caught kingies on this rig. That's how you set up for shark fishing. Then we just feed the bait out and drop the sinker down. So we'll just feed the bait out. Now fellas, when this happens, it happens really fast and we have to be organised. Now what I want you to do, it's Raven strike next. So Raven, you'll grab the rod if it goes off, and Bailey, you'll wind in the other one and clear it away. And I'll pull the anchor up on the boat. So that's our organisation. Is it clear? Cool. So if we get a bite, Raven, you've already got your harness on, ready to go. Bailey, you're clearing the rod, right, and put it out of the way, and I'll pull the anchor up and get the boat going. So we're organised, okay? Every time there's a click, their head goes up. We love it. We're just putting the light tackle attachment on the harness because this reel doesn't have harness lugs, and it works really well with these boys.
It's helpful at least.
Pull the rod up. Run. Got to get both through the clip.
Nice.
And put the second one. Right, you're on.
I'm just taking a couple of photos for my brother. Heavy.
That's good action, mate. You're pumping and winding. Level the line on with your finger, though. with your thumb. Level it on so it doesn't fill up on the spool. That's it. What we'll do is, if you see the trace come up, you only wind it to the tip, and then I grab the trace, but be very careful not to get anything tangled up. Wind hard, he's coming towards us.
Oh.
Pressure, keep the pressure on, that's the way.
Oh, he's fighting a bit harder now that we're getting closer. He's running.
I'm just manoeuvring the boat. That fish just did a really big run, and I don't want to get too far away because in the Rangitoto Channel there's anchors, there's mooring buoys, and I don't want to get caught up in those. So I want to stay on top of it so that we don't get caught up in anything like that. Gives them a bit of a hand too to get some of that line back. He's doing a great job.
Are you going towards him so I get more slack?
Take more line, yeah.
Like directly on the side. Heavy? Oh, yes. No, like a couple of meters.
That way.
The line's out 2-3 meters. It's like 10-15 foot of the chain stuff, whatever it is. He's going around to like your anchor side.
Wind hard, don't be sideways, just straight.
Thanks, that's making it easier. Daddy's getting in pretty close. We're already on the red line. Yeah, don't worry what colour you're on. It's a matter of pulling, pumping and winding,
No.
Wait, can you get out of the way? He's coming around your way.
So what do you think of this shark action, boys? Lift over the propeller, over the outboard, sorry. I'm getting too excited now. We've been on this one for about 25 minutes now, and it's a real tug of war. Raven's working hard. We've got 50-pound rainbow braid on here and a pretty serious drag. He's having trouble standing up straight, but I'm trying to coach him because if you lean into your harness rather than bending over, if you stand up straight, it's a lot easier. Stand up straight. Straighten your back up there.
Yeah, we're getting close to the steel line. Dad can turn. Yep. He's coming around the front. Quick.
He is going. Watch the back of the boat. Watch it go under the downrigger.
I can't. It's stuck. Damn, fish went round the prop and snapped the line.
There's a lot of scientific research touted about shark behaviour, and I tend to dispute a fair bit of it, like the fact that sharks don't like the taste of humans. You know, no one's ever asked a shark for a starter, but I think most humans are actually, if they get bitten by a shark, are smart enough to get out of the water. Now, we're 2 miles from Takapuna Beach, and there is a lot of sharks in the Rangitoto Channel over summer. If they wanted to go and have a crack at you, I'm sure they would have done it by now, but they're not like that. But they are opportunistic feeders, and they are apex predators. So treat them with the utmost respect. You know, to me, seeing sharks in the water is fantastic. To be able to bring the boys out and show them, what a thrill for them too. So I've had a great day sharing my shark experience with my boys, and I think that's what fishing is all about, sharing experiences. So catch us next time on Black Magic Fishing NZ.
Hook into these great prizes by watching Fishing NZ. Each episode, enter the draw to win a pair of Strike polarised fishing glasses and a year's subscription to New Zealand Fishing News. At the end of the series, all entries go into the draw to win $1,000 worth of Black Magic tackle. To enter, simply email your details to fishingnz@extra.co.nz.